Hi, I'm Kenneth, and this is Common Hawthorne. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I'm taking a break from the hand shot with my phone tarot vlogmas shorts to do a ship's log. Today is December 19th, 2021, and this will probably be a little longer than I usually do. Um, there are three major things I'll do, and if I am feeling ambitious, I will try to put timestamps. First is I have started a purgatory box, and second is some new acquisitions, and third will be a look at some playing card decks that I have. So when I returned to tarot 2.5 years ago, going on 3 years now, I especially when I started watching Tarot Tube, but even before that, I was really fascinated by the variety of decks available. Back in the late 70s or 80s, I had a Rider-Waite-Smith, but I also had Palladino's, oh, I forget, kind of an Art Nouveau-ish kind of deck. So I knew that there were different decks, but anyway, when I got back into it, I've bought a lot of decks and a lot of Oracle decks, trying to find which are the ones that feel right, that scratch an itch. And it's become obvious finally that some of them I just don't want anymore. So a recent one that, ooh, look at that glare, is the Mibramig Magical Tarot, which I like the aesthetic of the little animals. Although, I hadn't seen a whole bunch of the cards. The weird thing, one of the weird things to me is that, well, cups are dogs, which is fine, and wands are antelope, which is fine, but then swords are apes, and birds are coins, and that just doesn't really click for me. And there are a couple of cards that that I don't really care for. So there's that's made it. And then a very early purchase is the Paulina Tarot, which is beautiful. And there are a couple of decks that I bought early on, kind of in the same, that kind of fill the same niche of the very kind of evocative, impressionistic images, but they're just too tiny. I mean, the detail is, it's lost on me, and it's actually hard for me to read. At the other end of the spectrum, aesthetically, and interestingly enough, an aesthetic that I thought that I would like more than I do, and kind of an approach to the cards that I'd like better than I do, is Robert M. Place's The Alchemical Tarot Renewed. And it's got astrological and alchemical correspondences, and it's full of interesting symbolism and esotericism, and I just I found that it's cold, and I don't really end up enjoying it very much, and so that is in my purgatory box. And then a couple more decks that share with the Paulina Tarot the fact that I find them visually difficult to read. First is the Light Visions, And of course, you can guess what's coming next if I have trouble reading the light visions. This deck, of course, is, that is a great judgment card. But, this is made so that the suits, if you lay them out in order, there's one large image that they make. And then the Prisma Visions, I think that's right. Yeah, Prisma Visions, which is basically the same images but multicolor, and again, some of it I think is beautiful, but I never reach for this deck. I never reach for either of these decks and find them difficult to read with. And then a deck that I backed on Kickstarter, the Tarot of Devotion, which isn't really a tarot deck. It has its own structure, and clearly it's based on stained glass. And I find that I don't have the inclination to devote the time that it would take. Did I show you the backs? And also I find the labels really, really difficult to read. And so a little less than the other ones, but this one's in my purgatory box. The others so far, I'm really clear that I'm ready to get rid of. And then another one that I got, mass market, because I thought it looked beautiful, and it does look beautiful. Within the, it's all young, able-bodied, thin, white people. A lot of imagery which, growing up in America, I think of as being very Christian iconography. Especially, if you like hot Jesus. But really the thing about this deck that Tom Benjamin pointed out, and that I just can't unsee, is that the people depicted in the cards don't have nipples. It may be that if the paintings, the original paintings, that it's just subtle and they kind of disappear in the reduction to card size, but yeah, it's like these people have no nipples. So that's it for the start of my purgatory box. If any of those grab you, let me know, and maybe we can work something out. And then, where did I put them? Things I've recently got. I have been waiting for this from Liminal 11 for quite a while. The delivery date kept changing. There are, I'm a magazine editor, and our fall issue only reached people's homes about a week ago. And that's because there are incredible problems in the paper industry, and then of course printing, and we know about mail service being disrupted for various reasons. So I'm not surprised that this came later than expected, but I'm really looking forward to reading and working with it. I don't have any grand plans to make a tarot or oracle deck, but I have actually created an oracle for personal use, and would like to do that again with a little more structure and forethought to it. Then a deck that I recently got through a trade with Amy at Strength Reversed. I sent her my Carnival at the End of the World tarot deck, and I got the Druidcraft in return, which is lovely. And although it's funny, when I got it, as soon as I took it out of the box, it's like the cards are big, and I'm not particularly bothered by borders, but the fact that there's a border and then the white border, that white border is totally coming off, and the cards are actually surprisingly big. So that is a new deck. And then I also, and just a couple of days after that, got a deck of, actually two decks with different color boxes that I kept backed on Kickstarter. Ian Cumpsty, who I have a couple of his decks already, but these are his Liber Ludorum playing cards. There's the back. And actually, no, that's not the back, that's the front. They're hand painted. There's the back. And I don't read playing cards, but I really like his art style. These are the Jack, Queen, and King. They are illuminated, as are all of the aces. So, and then that led me to realize that since coming to tarot again and kind of just paying more attention to cards, I have several playing card decks. I have the Rider-Waite playing card deck, which is beautiful, beautiful, just black and white back. It is actually a tarot deck, and not, so the jokers are the knights. It does have the majors. But the rest, here's Judgment. So, it's a playing card size deck, and the Pamela Coleman Smith's artwork is just reduced and placed in the center. So I like it. And then I have a deck of cards that was a fundraiser for a local nonprofit organization that provides art studios and also co-working space. And it's local Provincetown artists. I'll show you a few of my favorites. This is Greg Salvatore. This is Gaston Lacombe. Donna Pomponio. Paul Rizzo. And Pete Hawking. And just some of the cards are almost illegible. When I first got it, I thought, oh, it might be interesting to see if could be an oracle or, a partial tarot treatment, but the art is too random. And then I have a set that is, this This is one back and the other back. William Morris wallpaper. So, just very plain, but I love the back, and comes in a nice little box. So that's it with things that have been happening in my tarot life lately. And in personal life, I am in the first weekend of a 2-week break. I work for a religious nonprofit, and we usually get from Christmas to New Year's off, but in light of everything, they are very generously modeling that just because you promise your employees a certain number of days off doesn't mean you can't give them more days off in order to find refreshment and renewal. And so in this busy season, I hope that whether you are working or off work or out of work, that you are finding moments of renewal and refreshment. And I don't know when I'll do another long form video, because these shorts for Papa Squirrel's Tarot Vlogmas are kind of fun, and I'm doing some ahead, but I'm doing some on the day, and they are getting a very surprising number of views, a few of them, several hundred, which is more than I usually get on my videos. So that's fun, and it's both reinvigorated my attention to making videos, but also that's what I'm doing rather than setting up the camera and figuring out a topic. So once again, I'm Kenneth. This is Common Hawthorne. Thank you for visiting, and I will see you again.